We're like laughing. Hi, I'm student meteorologist Tyler Byrne.
I'm student meteorologist Megan Berry.
And welcome to our show tonight. We got a lot of great weather coming, or interesting weather anyway.
Today's Monday, February 26th. Wrapping up February. This month went by so quickly. It's almost March.
I mean, I know it's a little shorter than the other months, but yeah, it really flew by. This whole semester is really going by pretty
and
quickly.
It doesn't feel like March outside. We've had record high temps the past few weeks. It's still warm out there. We actually had a lot of severe weather this past weekend.
Yeah, lots of rain. It was a pretty nice Saturday, but come Sunday, lots of pouring rain.
Yeah, it was not fun. Couldn't go outside. But actually, on Saturday, it was lovely, and the FSU res was packed. I had a lot of friends that went there, went canoeing. They enjoyed that weather. Felt like South Florida. Felt like spring break.
Yeah, it is always nice here in Florida when you can get out and go to the beach in March when most places are still getting snow.
Yeah, it's really nice. And this next coming week, the weather's going to continue to stay beautiful. We have highs peaking into the 70s, which is just perfect. It's like what I prefer, honestly.
So if you have a chance, make sure you get outside. There should be, there are some chances of rain a little later on in the week, but for right now, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out. It's going to be mostly scattered. Just pack that umbrella with you. You never get caught on campus without an umbrella.
Of course. Yeah, or
those expensive textbooks.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you have your laptop in your backpack. You know, you never want to get caught out in the rain.
Yeah, so weather's lovely right now. It's a pretty mild night. We're expecting it to stay clear. It's kind of humid outside, but temps are mild. We have actually Michael out at the wall right now with a look at what's going on for the rest of the show.
Thanks, Tyler and Megan. So yesterday we had this cold front, and today we've had this cold front move to the southeast, and it has given a lot of rain to a lot of southeast. Remember, some of the southeast are still in a drought. Here in Tallahassee, we got about a half an inch of rain yesterday. That was due to showers ahead of the main line. Now today, that main line did move through the entire southeast. It moved through Tallahassee. There were some torrential downpours here at around the lunchtime hour, causing some dangerous travel conditions, really heavy rain. But now, since that front has moved through, some dry air is starting to filter in, and some cooler air will filter in this week. It's not going to be as warm this week. We're not going to get any records. Dew points are still relatively high because the cold front hasn't completely moved through. It's actually stalled out on top of our area. But for tonight's show, no more showers for now. The humidity will stick around for a little bit, but we are expecting cooler temps for this week. But now I'm going to send it off to Colleen with a look at our first local forecast.
Hey Tallahassee, now yesterday we saw mainly overcast skies with Tallahassee taking the gold with 0.45 inches of rain. But the thing with yesterday is we saw more longer drawn out rain showers with less heavy showers. And this is due to this front over here making its way through. It's a little bit more disorganized, so that is why we didn't see all those strong developed showers in our area. So the rain will go away for the next few days, as we do have this dry air making its way in. And now it might take a little bit longer because this is a slow moving front, so going into tomorrow night. Now, if you notice that our average today is only 3 degrees from the average, but if we take a look at our low, it's a little bit warmer, and that's due to the clouds out there in the sky as they create warmer temperatures at night. Now the current temperatures around Tallahassee 71, in Monticello, and as we get closer to the coast, we see 78 in Carabel, and that may be due to the clouds that are still lingering around or making it cooler inland than compared to the coast. Now the dew point 62, 68, and 65. Yeah, it's really hot and humid out there, and we do have that icky sticky feeling, as we will with the spring showers making its way in. Now we do have a light to moderate wind with 10 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 5 in Monticello, and then we do have this southwesterly flow, but over the next few days we'll have more of that drier weather come in, and it'll switch to more northwesterly winds. Now what can you expect tonight? Still warmer temperatures than average, at 60 due to those few clouds still lingering around, with winds from the west at 5 miles an hour. Now tomorrow, it's going to be less cloudy, but there'll still be a few lingering behind. It's going to be muggy, very icky sticky when you wake up in the morning with 74 degrees. So at least we're in the 70s, it could be worse. We could be in the 50s. Now the 5-day forecast, we do have 20% chance in going to Wednesday, Thursday, but then hopefully we get into the weekend, we see those 70s stay around. Now we're going to switch it on over to Tyler for what's going on in the southeast.
Thank you, Colleen. Well, good evening, Tallahassee, and I hope you all grabbed your umbrellas this morning because look at this rain that we saw earlier in the day. There's a big cold front moving through the southeast, and that's what all this moisture and rain that you're seeing in our area is. That's what moved through earlier today. There is some cold, dry air behind it that'll move into our region in the next coming days, but that's why we saw that rain today and why there will be some expected chances of rain later on in the week. Current temperatures, not too bad. 71 in Tallahassee right now. It's a little colder north and west of us. 67 in Montgomery, all the way down to 61 in Atlanta, and 61 in Little Rock, where they're starting to feel the effects of that cold front moving through. As you move down through the state, you can see Orlando's at 85 degrees, very hot. 77 in Miami, and all the way up at 80 in Key West. So Florida, as usual, very hot, but temperatures throughout the region are fairly moderate right now. Nothing too terrible. 24-hour dew point changes, they have been going down. Tallahassee, we're down 3 degrees in terms of dew point. Montgomery down 3. Tupelo all the way down 9. Little Rock is up 1, probably because of that moisture from the cold front. And as you move down through the rest of the state, Orlando down 9 in the terms of dew point. Miami up 1, and Key West down 1 as well. Current dew points, keeping in mind the higher the dew point is, the more hot and muggy it's going to feel. So 62 in Tallahassee, that's fairly humid. Again, you would expect that with all the rain that we saw in the last couple days really. It was Sunday. New Orleans also pretty humid, 62. But look up here in Little Rock, 38. That is a very low dew point, again because of all that cold, dry air that's going to be moving in behind that cold front. So you would expect the dew point in our area to also start going down over the next couple days. Atlanta's 53 as they're starting to also feel the effects of that moisture. Savannah 60, and you move down throughout the state about the same. 56 in Orlando, 69 in Miami, and 69 in Key West. So pretty hot and humid down in South Florida, but nothing new there. Current winds mainly coming out of the northwest. You can see 10 degrees, or 10 miles per hour, here in Tallahassee, 5 miles per hour in Montgomery, coming out of the southeast in Little Rock at 8 miles per hour. As you move down through the state, you can see Orlando, winds coming out of the west at 10 miles per hour, coming out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour in Miami, and 8 in Key West. So winds all around the board. And now the water vapor chart is really going to show that cold front that we're having. Look at all this green. That's all moisture from that cold front. You can see orange. That's cold, dry air behind the front. And then, of course, you can see orange down in South Florida where they have a lot of dry air because they're not really being hit by that cold front like we are in our region. Tonight's forecast should be fairly moderate, a bit warmer than average, but nothing too terrible. 61 here in Tallahassee. Colder as we move northwest. Tupelo down to 38 degrees. So again, cold, dry air. I know I've said it a million times, but that's going to be coming to us soon. 41 in Little Rock. As you move down through the rest of the state, a little bit warmer. 69 in Orlando, up to 70 in Miami, and 73 in Key West. And looking ahead to tomorrow's forecast, lots of rain in our region. Hopefully just clouds here in Tallahassee with a temperature of 76 degrees, but northwest of us, Montgomery, 76 was rain. Tupelo, 72 was rain. Little Rock, 69 was rain. And moving through the rest of the state, bit sunnier, but also still expecting some clouds. 81 degrees in Orlando, 84 in Tampa, 84 in Miami, and 80 in Key West. So moisture for the next couple days, and temperatures fairly moderate. Right now, I'm going to send it back to the desk with Colleen and Michael.
Thanks, Tyler. So the main weather story across the U.S. has been the torrential flooding in the central part of the U.S., particularly in the Mid-South and the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys. Now, they had that cold front that was basically stuck in one place most of last week. It finally moved through our area today, but that was the reason for all the rain in the Mid-South, Colleen. Yeah,
we only saw a portion of what they experienced, and now their main timeline of threat is Tuesday night to Thursday night. So it's only Monday. So this is only the beginning for the flooding occurrences in the Midwest.
Yeah, and some of the parts of the Ohio River are at their highest levels in 20 years. They had a little break today, but tomorrow another storm system is already forming out west. That's going to move in starting tomorrow, and it's going to give them more flooding as well as severe weather. They did get severe weather over the weekend, so it's basically rinse and repeat for them, literally.
Yeah. And the areas of greater concern, Arkansas into Tennessee, southern Kentucky, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, northwest Georgia, and this is from Wednesday into Thursday again. So those areas should definitely watch out for the flood watches and warnings, because they'll be popping up and going away as the day goes on throughout this time period of a torrential rainfall, I guess.
Yeah, and this cold front is it's gonna basically supply more rain to areas that don't need it. It will move through our area as we go into the later part of the week, but the good news about the cold front here is it's gonna really drop our temperatures. We've been in the 80s over the last week. By the time we go to the weekend, we'll be down towards the lower 70s, and we might see some upper 40s, maybe mid 40s in our region as we go into next week. So it's going to be much cooler. So you want to be prepared for that. Like, it's starting to get back towards a more of a February, March type of pattern. So be prepared for that.
Yes, and also something that's notable about this rainfall is the Ohio River is actually at levels that they haven't seen in over 20 years.
Yep, that is pretty amazing. Louisville, Kentucky, some of the flood pictures I saw over there this past weekend, really bad flooding, but it's only going to worsen from here as we're expecting more rain in the same areas. But for now, let's send it back out to the wall where Megan has a look at our second local forecast.
No flooding in our forecast.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, this is a look outside of the FSU Love Building right now. It's a beautiful sunset tonight. We have a couple lingering clouds, but nothing that's blocking that gorgeous sunlight. Bring us to the wall. I'll show you what temperatures we're experiencing right now. 71, partly cloudy as you just saw. Dew points pretty mild right now. The humidity is at 73%, and we do have kind of a gusty wind at 10 miles an hour, but this lovely temperature right here is actually what our high is going to be for this next coming week, so just enjoy those beautiful temperatures coming up. Past 20 hours, had a bit of a roller coaster as always. We dipped down to 62 at 3 a.m. Things peaked at about 3 p.m. at 77 degrees, so we felt quite a bit of a temperature change the past 20 hours with you, and we're going to still feel that temperature change as we move into tonight. Current temperatures in the region, we see that orange color, kind of mild temperatures. In Tallahassee, we're at 71, Quincy 68, Bainbridge a bit cooler at 68 too. Wilma, Carabel, and Apalachicola down here, holy moly, 76 degrees, so they're a bit warmer than we are here in Tallahassee, about 5 degrees warmer actually down by the water. We can look at what's going on with our dew points in the region. Things correlate pretty nicely with those temperatures. We see Monticello's at 64, Tallahassee's at 62, Quincy 61, down by the water, a little bit more moist with that sea breeze, 71 and 67. So it's a bit muggy, nothing we were feeling last week with all that rain, but it's kind of humid outside. We can see right now on our satellite and radar, this shower moved over our region, passed through. It was our front system. Didn't do as much as what in the way of cooling down goes. We did get some severe weather, but our temperatures are staying pretty warm, so didn't really do much for us. Michael mentioned we might get another one coming up here in the next few days, hopefully, because it's starting to get kind of hot for March. Current winds in the region, we see we're coming out of the north in Tallahassee at 10 miles an hour, Panama City out of the north, Valdosta here at 6, Jacksonville coming out of the northwest at 3. So the story is pretty similar throughout the region. We got a lot of wind from the north, nothing too consistent though. Orlando at 10, just like us, so winds are kind of gusty in certain regions, but nothing that's really showing a story. Tonight's forecast, 60 degrees. We're still warmer than average. We got a few clouds passing tonight, so might be kind of a nice night to go out there and go stargazing if you're able to do it with that light wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow looks beautiful, 74, only a few clouds. It's going to be a bit muggy though, so put some extra hairspray on if you're like me and you care about how your hair looks. East-northeast tomorrow, 5 miles an hour, so just going to cool us off just a bit. Tomorrow's going to be a nice day to enjoy your lunch break outside in between work and class. 5-day forecast. We do see rain on the board Wednesday and Thursday, but Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday looking really nice. Look at Thursday, we get up into those 80s again, but the lows are looking pretty nice, 60 and 59. Haven't seen the 50s in quite a bit, so these are looking like beautiful temperatures. Make sure to pack your umbrella for the class week and enjoy that beautiful weekend. We're going to send it back to the National with Michael. Michael, what's going on nationally?
Yeah, if you tuned in last week, the national picture was really stagnant. That's all you could say about it. We had this high pressure situated over the southeast, basically blocking any storm systems to move into the southeast. What happened this weekend, that high pressure finally broke down. We got our first rain chance in a while here in Tallahassee due to that cold front. And that cold front is situated right off the southeast coast right now. The rest of the country is actually pretty mild for this time of year. 60s and 70s across the central portion of the country. Still chilly up towards the northwestern part of the U.S. Now, you can see that cold front right along the southeast coast. It is basically stalled out right on top of Tallahassee right now. But our next storm system is already setting up here in the west. The main player with this storm system is going to come out and give some more rain to the central part of the U.S., basically exacerbate the flooding situation over there, as well as give them another severe weather opportunity as we go into Wednesday. That front will actually get to Tallahassee later this week and actually give us average weather this time for March and February. Now, the reason why the center of the country is much warmer than this time yesterday, we have high pressure situated right here in the eastern Midwest of the U.S. That southerly wind is actually making it warmer compared to this time yesterday. Another reason, it's clear across the center of the country, so they've been able to warm up more quickly compared to this time yesterday. Now, the dew points are higher as the front is situated right along the southern part of the southeast U.S. It's not going to move that much, and it's actually going to come back up as a warm front here in Texas tomorrow, start to bring back the rain to the mid-south, which they desperately do not need. As you can see, the water vapor will show you the moisture still associated with this cold front. Not moving that much now. It's starting to stall out, as I've been saying for the last few minutes. Here's the watches and warnings. Now, we do have flood watches again for the Mid-South. Basically the same region that was under a flood watch last week. They're expecting more rain due to another cold front that will emerge out into the middle part of the country coming into Tuesday, especially into early Wednesday. That's only going to make the flooding situation worse. The flooding situation in the Ohio River is some of the worst in 20 years. But for tonight, warm across the southern tier, you can start to see some of the cooler air filtering in from that first cold front in the southeast. And for tomorrow, pretty tranquil conditions, pretty average, a little bit above average for this time of year. But you can start to see in Dallas, that's the rain associated with the next front. But let's send it back to the desk where Tyler and Colleen are standing by.
Thanks, Michael. Now let's talk about ice, baby. No, on a more serious note, the ice is melting. January's Arctic sea extent hits record low with 525,000 square miles less than the average.
And that is the lowest
for
amount,
the month of January.
That is the lowest amount of Arctic sea ice ever recorded in the 39 years they've been using satellite imagery to measure it. So this is very serious. And
looking at the photos imagery that the Weather Channel posted 6 days ago for this article, we see the ice is chopped up in between water, and the ice is just melting out there. And to make it comparable about how much ice is missing, which is equivalent to an area of the size of Texas and California combined. So for the month of January, that's how much ice is less than average.
That's ridiculous. And keep in mind, we live in Florida. We're below sea level. So as that ice melts, it's got to go somewhere. And if sea levels rise, we could be in trouble, especially in places like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, places that are on the coast or in islands. You know, that could be a lot of property damage, a lot of places lost to flooding. Yeah,
there's a lot of different models predicting of what effects this can happen. So right now we can only talk about the facts. And NOAA based their report on the data released on February 6th by the National Snow and Ice Data Center. So this is where they got all their information about how it's 525,000 square miles less than average.
That is ridiculous.
Yes, and they do have conspiracies that greenhouse gases emitted through human activity can result in the increase in the global mean temperature, causing the ice to melt. But there's a whole debate about that, so we're only going to go about the data about how it's 525,000 less than normal. And we see the trend here from 1980 to 2016. The extent, millions of square kilometers, have a steady trend line that's just decreasing.
Yeah, just plunging. It's pretty terrible. So if you've had dreams about going and seeing the Arctic, you better do it now, you know?
Yeah, so this is really crazy, honestly. So what are you, on another note, what are your plans for the rest of the week?
My plans for the rest of the week are to get through my classes. I don't think I have any tests this week, though. That's nice.
Well, I have a few exams, so we'll see. Now we're going to switch it on over to Megan for a look around Florida.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at Florida while it's still above water. Current conditions right now. We see South Florida is a bit warmer than we are per usual. 80 in Key West, my hometown right here, 80 and sunny, lovely. Tallahassee, partly cloudy at 71. Pensacola, a bit warmer at 74. So upper 70s, low 80s is the story for the state of Florida tonight. Taking a look at our satellite and radar once again, we do see that front up here moved over the Tallahassee region, the Panhandle region, and then dissipates as it moves towards the Atlantic. So brought us a bit of rain, not much of a cool down. We're going to be feeling another one of those as the week moves on. Nothing we're not used to here in Florida is a little bit of rain. Current dew point in the region, pretty mild. It's kind of muggy outside. It's 62 right now, temperature 71. So it's kind of close to that temperature, giving us a little bit more humidity in the air. We do feel that tonight. Orlando, less than us at 56. Tampa, 67. Fort Myers, 67. Miami and Key West down by the water at 69. So state of Florida tonight feels pretty similar with our humidity. Our upper level water vapor showing us exactly what kind of moisture we're experiencing through the region. This green right here is showing us that moist air passing over the north part of Florida, and that dry air, that orange, passing over mostly the mid and south part of Florida. So they're a bit drier down there than we are tonight. In Florida, we can go ahead and take a look at these current winds. As I pointed out earlier, we do have a couple gusty regions throughout the state of Florida. West Palm Beach, Orlando, and Tallahassee with those gusts at 10 miles an hour. Rest of the state, a little bit lower. We see a lot of 9s, a couple 8s. Jacksonville, very mild here with 3, so they have some pretty calm winds there tonight. Taking a look at our watches, warnings, and radar over here, we got a lot of precipitation up here near Shreveport and north of New Orleans. We see a lot of flooding warnings, and over here near Savannah and Orlando, north of Orlando here, we see a lot of small craft advisories. So basically saying waters are a bit choppy, there's a little bit of wind. If you do have a small craft, a boat, a canoe, be careful when you're going out there tonight. You want to make sure you're taking the right precaution and being safe. Futurecast radar we can move into Monday. We see that rain kind of moves over to the Atlantic, not going to be affecting us at all. We kind of actually see a patch of clear, dry weather lingering over Tallahassee, but that's only until Wednesday. We might see some rain later on in the week. Tonight's forecast, very mild as well, 62 and 61. So the north part of Florida feeling pretty nice tonight. It's going to be a lovely evening to go outside if you have some outdoor plans on your Monday night. Take a break from studying, maybe go get some hot chocolate with some friends. Orlando, 69, West Palm Beach, 67, Miami, 70 tonight. So they're feeling pretty nice for March in Florida. Tuesday forecast, we can see a lot of clouds throughout the state. We don't really see much sun. Key West, a little paradise down here, not getting much clouds, but the rest of the state feels kind of cloudy. Tomorrow rather, Jacksonville and Tallahassee will see that cloud coverage linger throughout the day. Mid and South Florida, the sun will peak out around lunchtime, so the clouds will move on throughout the day. We're going to go ahead and send it over to Tyler for one last look at our local weather. Tyler, what's happening in Tallahassee?
Thank you, Megan. Well, let's take a look. We're going to start with satellite and radar, and as you can see that cold front, a lot of rain, moisture that's moving through the southeast, which is why we saw rain today and yesterday. But behind it, you can see lots of cold, dry air moving into the region, so temperatures should cool off a little. Focusing down back into Tallahassee, again, like I'm saying, here's that cloud, here's that rain from earlier. It's moved through. There will be some chances of rain later on, which I'll talk about a little later, but for right now, things have cleared up in our area. Current conditions, 71 degrees inland and 72 coastal. Still a little partly cloudy, but there is some of that sun. Dew point is 62 degrees, so considering our temperature are 71 and 72, it's going to feel a little hot and muggy as you'd expect after getting all that rain and all that moisture earlier, and humidity is 73%. Wind is coming out of the north at 7 miles per hour, so not too terrible, not too blustery outside, but there is some wind. And as you can see, that's pretty average for the region. A little warmer in Panama City at 73 with some cloud cover, even a little bit warmer in Pensacola, 74. Montgomery and Meridian, though, both a little lower as that cold, dry air starts to move in. 67 in Montgomery and 67 and sunny in Meridian. And moving a little bit east of us, you can see Gainesville's up at 73 degrees with rain as that moisture starts to hit them in their area. And Jacksonville cloudy with 71 degrees. Current dew points throughout the region. Tallahassee, even though it is feeling a little humid, it's about average for where we are. 62 in Tallahassee, 64 in Panama City, but it is going down in Meridian, 55 and 57 in Montgomery. So as that cold, dry air moves through, those dew points go down because there's less moisture in the air and it feels less humid outside. Current winds in Tallahassee come from the northwest at 10 miles per hour as all that rain moves through. Pensacola coming out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Also in Meridian coming out of the north at 8 miles per hour. And moving east of us, you can see winds out of the northwest in Jacksonville at 3 miles per hour and out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour in Gainesville as that rain starts to move through their area that was hitting us earlier. 24-hour temperature changes are a little bit up 2 degrees in Tallahassee, up 12 degrees in Meridian, but as that cold air begins to move through, you'd expect those temperatures to start dropping as we move ahead into the next couple days. Tonight's forecast should be 60 degrees, which is still warmer than average, but certainly not hot by any measure. There will be a few clouds, and there should be wind coming out of the west about 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead to tomorrow, should be 74 degrees in Tallahassee, not too terrible. There will be a few clouds, but hopefully not the rain that we saw earlier, and a little muggy, not terrible though. And looking ahead to the week, you can see Wednesday, clouds with a 20% chance of rain. Thursday, clouds with a 40% chance of rain, but as we move through the week, that should clear up, and by Monday, we should have sun, and temperatures should be in the 70s pretty much throughout the week. So I'm going to take it back to the desk now. Megan, what do you think about the weather that we're looking at for the next couple of days?
The weather in Tallahassee looks lovely. We see a lot of sun in that 7-day, a couple chances of rain, but just don't pay attention to those, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. Just grab an umbrella, grab a rain jacket. You'll be fine.
Yeah, so weather's going to be really nice. We dip into the 50s. Haven't seen that in quite a bit.
Yeah, right, especially with how warm it's been in February and March. That is nice to get some cooler temperatures for once.
Yeah, and speaking of cool temperatures and warm temperatures, I actually want to bring it back to what you and Colleen talked about at the desk, the Arctic sea ice and all that. That's so interesting. As we know, Arctic sea ice doesn't really lift the water level too much. It kind of displaces. So the water level stays pretty consistent, but ice is receding and melting, you know, because temperatures are warmer. So
right, yeah.
Yeah, both of us studying environmental science, we tend to focus on that.
Yeah, right, think about that part, instead of just looking at the weather.
Yeah, but sticking to Florida, things are going to stay beautiful. No ice melting here.
Right.
Just
no ice at all here in
Yeah,
Florida.
no ice at all, not yet.
Yeah, still pretty nice beach weather, honestly.
Yeah, it's spring break here in the next week, I believe.
Next week.
So we obviously will be tracking the weather for you throughout the state of Florida. Anyone traveling to South Florida, anyone traveling north, we're going to make sure to keep up to date with the weather when you're traveling.
Right.
Stay safe.
Keep tuning in, keep watching, because we'll definitely get you what you need. We'll let you know.
Yeah, and I got quite a drive to South Florida, but it's gonna be lovely. Hopefully the temperatures stay nice. I prefer to drive later in the evening, so you know it kind of cools down as the sun sets. So
yeah, I have to take the bus down to Fort Lauderdale most times. So it's about 10 hours, so a bit of a journey.
It's
but
worth it for those beaches.
Exactly,
though.
it's worth it to get down there, to get to see family and just have some fun.
Yep. So spring in Tallahassee feels beautiful, and if you have any beautiful pictures to show us, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather. Send us your stuff.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather.
As well as YouTube, rather. We stream live weeknights when the show airs live on TV, airs live on YouTube.
Hey, those beautiful pictures, send them over to us on Instagram at FSU Weather. We'd love to repost any great picture that you do.
Yep, we got a lot of social media going on. If you want to can't catch the show, make sure you follow us on Twitter. We do post weather updates on there throughout the day.
Yeah, always have social media updates, and we'll let you know when the show is coming on later.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm student meteorologist Megan Berry.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Bird. And we'll
Have
see
a
you
great
next
night.